The Sister Wives world is once again in chaos, and this time it's not Cody Brown causing the drama, but Christine Brown herself. In a shocking moment that left fans' jaws on the floor, Christine snapped at Janelle with the words, "You need to shut up." The fiery confrontation, caught on camera, has fans asking what really lies beneath the surface of their once solid friendship. Could jealousy be creeping in now that both women have moved on from Cody but are navigating fame, freedom, and their new lives in drastically different ways? Or did years of pent-up emotion finally explode in one unforgettable scene that might forever change their sisterly bond? The Sister Wives universe has never been short of drama, but nothing could have prepared viewers for the moment Christine Brown turned to Janelle and said in a voice filled with years of buried frustration, "You need to shut up." It was a scene that rippled through social media, sparking thousands of fan reactions, deep analyses, and a flood of speculation about what really caused Christine to lose her cool. Was this the moment their friendship finally hit a breaking point? Or was it a reflection of something deeper? A crack in the foundation that had been forming long before the cameras ever rolled? Christine Brown has long been known as the bright, outspoken, and emotionally honest member of the Sister Wives family. Her exit from Cody Brown's plural marriage was celebrated by fans as an act of empowerment and courage. She was the first to stand up, walk away, and say that she would no longer live a life that dimmed her spirit. But as much as Christine has grown since leaving Flagstaff and embracing her new chapter with husband David Woolley, the shadow of her past relationships with the other wives continues to follow her. When Christine told Janelle to shut up, the words hit like a thunderclap because they came from a woman who had once prided herself on peace and sisterhood. The incident begged the question, what really pushed Christine to this breaking point? To understand the explosion, one has to look back at Christine and Janelle's dynamic over the years. Among all of Cody's wives, Janelle and Christine shared perhaps the closest bond. They were allies when times were tough, co-parents in spirit, and each other's confidants during the darker years of polygamy. When Mary and Robin often found themselves isolated, Christine and Janelle leaned on one another. But with the end of their marriages to Cody, something shifted. Christine moved on faster, embracing her freedom and love story with David Woolley, while Janelle remained in a more complicated emotional limbo, technically separated from Cody, but not quite ready to close that chapter fully. Their differences in how they handled life after Cody began to show during interviews and online appearances. Christine was bubbly, eager to share her joy and newfound confidence, while Janelle remained more grounded, cautious, and sometimes even skeptical of Christine's rapid transformation. What may have started as emotional contrast eventually turned into tension. Sources close to the show have claimed that behind the scenes, Janelle felt Christine was performing happiness for the cameras, while Christine believed Janelle wasn't being honest with herself about Cody. It was a slow burn that finally erupted in a raw, unfiltered confrontation. The scene that stunned fans reportedly took place while they were filming a segment about rebuilding their friendship after both divorces. The conversation began lightheartedly, but as they touched on the topic of Cody's lingering influence, things grew tense. Christine, who has openly expressed that she wants nothing to do with Cody anymore, became frustrated when Janelle began to defend some of Cody's past decisions, particularly regarding their children. Witnesses describe Christine's body language as visibly agitated. Her tone shifted from conversational to defensive, and then, in an instant, she snapped, telling Janelle, "You need to shut up." The words hung in the air, shocking everyone in the room, including Janelle, who reportedly froze in disbelief. For longtime fans, this wasn't just a moment of anger, it was a symbolic break. It showed how much the emotional landscape of Sister Wives has changed. Once bound by a shared struggle and shared husband, these women now have separate lives, separate values, and separate truths. Christine's outburst might not have been about Janelle personally, but rather about everything she once endured under Cody's rule. When she told Janelle to shut up, she might have been telling her former self to stop justifying pain, to stop staying quiet, and to stop defending the indefensible. In a strange way, it was both a moment of anger and empowerment. Still, fans have been divided over Christine's tone. Some argue that she was wrong to lash out at Janelle, who has always stood by her through thick and thin. Others say that Christine is human, and after years of bottling up her emotions under Cody's rule, it's natural that the pressure finally burst. One fan wrote on Reddit that Christine spent years being silenced, so when she tells someone to shut up, it's coming from a place of deep hurt, not disrespect. Another fan countered, Janelle didn't deserve that. She's the only one who really understood Christine. Adding fuel to the fire, rumors began circulating online suggesting that Christine's reaction might have been rooted in jealousy. Some fans pointed out that Janelle has maintained a subtle, ongoing connection with Cody through their children and occasional contact, while Christine has fully cut ties. Others speculated that Christine might be struggling to adjust to Janelle's growing independence and newfound confidence, something Christine once inspired in her. The jealousy narrative gained traction after clips of the altercation surfaced, showing Christine's eyes narrowing and her tone sharp, as Janelle calmly responded, "You don't have to talk to me that way." However, insiders close to Christine have come to her defense, insisting that the confrontation was taken out of context. According to one source, the heated exchange was not a sign of broken friendship, but rather an emotionally raw discussion between two women who have been through the same trauma. They love each other like sisters, the insider said, but even sisters fight. Christine was just being honest. She's passionate, and sometimes that comes out stronger than she intends. If there's one thing that fans of Sister Wives know, it's that emotions run deep in this family. The weight of years spent navigating jealousy, neglect, and spiritual disconnection has left scars on everyone involved. Christine and Janelle, despite their bond, are still processing the pain of sharing one husband for decades. Their arguments might look like drama to viewers, but underneath it all lies the story of two women trying to rebuild their identities outside of a system that once defined them. In recent weeks, Christine has addressed the backlash in subtle ways. During a live stream with fans, she didn't directly mention Janelle, but spoke about how healing sometimes looks messy. She admitted that learning to speak up for herself means occasionally saying things she later regrets. "I've spent too many years being quiet. Now I'm learning to speak my truth, even if it doesn't always come out perfectly." Many took that as her way of acknowledging the viral shut up moment without reigniting the feud. Meanwhile, Janelle has remained composed and graceful in public appearances, suggesting that she has no ill will toward Christine. In a recent interview, she praised Christine for her courage in leaving Cody and starting over. "We've both had our moments," she said with a gentle smile. "We're both figuring things out. I love Christine, and I always will." Her calm demeanor has only made fans more curious about what truly went down between the two behind closed doors. The dynamic between Christine and Janelle continues to be one of the most compelling threads in the Sister Wives saga. Their journey mirrors that of countless women who've had to redefine themselves after walking away from unhealthy relationships. But in Christine's case, her newfound voice is both a weapon and a wound. The moment she told Janelle to shut up wasn't just an insult. It was the eruption of a volcano that had been simmering for decades, built from years of sacrifice, silence, and suppressed anger. Whether Christine and Janelle fully mend their relationship remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. This confrontation will go down as one of the most talked about moments in Sister Wives history. It marks a turning point in the narrative, showing that even the strongest bonds can be tested when emotions run high and old wounds resurface. As season 20 continues, fans are watching closely to see if the two women can move past the tension and rediscover the friendship that once made them inseparable, or if this clash marks the beginning of a permanent divide. Christine Brown's story has always been one of transformation, and perhaps this fiery moment is just another chapter in her journey toward full authenticity. Whether it was jealousy, exhaustion, or a desperate need to be heard, her words, "You need to shut up," echo far beyond one argument. They symbolize the end of silence for a woman who once felt invisible and the beginning of a new era where she speaks, unapologetically, for herself. The Sister Wives universe has been no stranger to drama, emotional confrontations, and shifting alliances, but nothing could have prepared fans for the latest explosive moment between Christine Brown and Janelle Brown that left viewers reeling and social media ablaze. In a heated exchange caught on camera, Christine, the once sweet-natured and peacekeeping ex-wife of Cody Brown, shocked everyone by snapping at Janelle in a moment of visible frustration that ended with the unforgettable line, "You need to shut up." Those 6 words echoed through the Sister Wives fandom, sparking endless debates and speculation about whether tension and jealousy might be boiling over between the two women who once seemed like the closest of allies. The latest episode opened with a seemingly calm discussion between Christine and Janelle as they navigated yet another fallout from Cody's actions. But as often happens in the tangled emotional web of the Brown family, the conversation quickly turned intense. What started as an attempt to unpack their shared frustrations with Cody's continued favoritism toward Robin spiraled into a raw confrontation that fans never saw coming. Janelle, ever the pragmatic voice of reason, tried to point out that Christine's public comments about her marriage to Cody, particularly her remarks about their lack of intimacy, might have gone too far. Christine, who has been on a self-empowerment journey since leaving Cody, didn't take kindly to what she perceived as judgment from her closest confidant. Her face hardened, her voice sharpened, and before anyone could blink, the words burst out, "You need to shut up." The tension in the room was electric. For a moment, the two women who had weathered years of polygamous chaos together stared at each other in stunned silence. The crew reportedly paused filming briefly as Christine composed herself, clearly shaken by her own reaction. Janelle, known for her composure, appeared equally shocked, but managed to respond with a calm, "Wow, Christine, that was uncalled for," before walking away from the cameras. What followed has been described by insiders as one of the most emotionally charged moments in Sister Wives history, a breakdown of sisterhood that symbolized how the family's once solid bonds continue to fray even after the polygamous structure has fallen apart. Viewers immediately flooded social media platforms, expressing disbelief at Christine's sudden outburst. Many fans who have long admired Christine's journey from submissive wife to independent woman were taken aback, calling her reaction unnecessary and even cruel. Others defended her, arguing that Christine's years of emotional suppression under Cody's controlling influence may have finally reached a breaking point. Twitter and Reddit threads lit up with comments analyzing every word, tone, and facial expression. Some even suggested that Christine's anger wasn't really about Janelle at all, but rather a projection of deeper feelings, perhaps resentment that Janelle continues to maintain emotional ties to Cody, while Christine has worked so hard to move on. Christine has long been the fan favorite for her openness and vulnerability, especially in the wake of her divorce from Cody. Her radiant new marriage to David Woolley has often been portrayed as the ultimate redemption arc in the Sister Wives narrative. However, this new confrontation has cracked that perfect image. Some viewers believe jealousy might be at the heart of her frustration, not romantic jealousy, but emotional envy of Janelle's ability to maintain peace and composure even in chaos. While Christine has embraced her newfound happiness, she may still feel overshadowed by Janelle's calm independence. After all, Janelle has remained single and unapologetically self-sufficient, focusing on her children and business endeavors rather than rushing into a new relationship. This difference in lifestyle and healing paths may have subtly fueled the tension that finally erupted on screen. Insiders close to the production have hinted that the argument between Christine and Janelle had been brewing for weeks before the cameras captured it. A source revealed that Christine had grown increasingly frustrated with Janelle's reluctance to fully distance herself from Cody. Christine reportedly feels that Janelle's ongoing communication with him sends mixed signals and undermines the united front they once had as former wives seeking independence. Janelle, on the other hand, has argued that co-parenting adult children and handling joint family finances requires maintaining some form of contact, even if it means tolerating uncomfortable interactions with Cody. Their different approaches to detachment may have created a rift that finally exploded in that unforgettable "shut up" moment. The tension between Christine and Janelle has raised questions about how sister wives will continue to portray their friendship. For years, viewers saw them as inseparable, forming an alliance that helped them survive the emotional toll of Cody's favoritism toward Robin. They shared tears, laughter, and long talks about love, faith, and motherhood. When both women eventually walked away from Cody, fans celebrated their solidarity, viewing them as sisters in spirit, even if not by blood. But as the show continues to document the aftermath of their separations, the reality of individuality is setting in. Christine's new life with David Woolley represents joy, closure, and a step into a new chapter, while Janelle's journey is slower, more introspective, and rooted in personal growth rather than romantic fulfillment. These contrasting paths may have become the quiet fault line that cracked open during that heated exchange. Christine's supporters argue that her emotions are justified. After years of emotional neglect and condescension from Cody, she has spent so long being silenced that speaking her truth now comes out with intensity. Her journey towards self-assertion, they argue, was never going to be perfectly graceful. It's the messiness of healing that makes her relatable. Others, however, insist that Christine's treatment of Janelle was unfair, especially since Janelle has been one of her biggest defenders both on and off screen. Fans recall that Janelle stood up to Cody multiple times to defend Christine's right to leave and rebuild her life. She supported Christine's new relationship and even celebrated her wedding publicly, calling it beautiful to see her so happy. That context makes Christine's sudden hostility feel like a betrayal to those who cherished their friendship. The Sister Wives world is once again in chaos, and this time it's not Cody Brown causing the drama, but Christine Brown herself. In a shocking moment that left fans' jaws on the floor, Christine snapped at Janelle with the words, "You need to shut up." The fiery confrontation, caught on camera, has fans asking what really lies beneath the surface of their once solid friendship. Could jealousy be creeping in now that both women have moved on from Cody but are navigating fame, freedom, and their new lives in drastically different ways? Or did years of pent-up emotion finally explode in one unforgettable scene that might forever change their sisterly bond? The Sister Wives universe has never been short of drama, but nothing could have prepared viewers for the moment Christine Brown turned to Janelle and said in a voice filled with years of buried frustration, "You need to shut up." It was a scene that rippled through social media, sparking thousands of fan reactions, deep analyses, and a flood of speculation about what really caused Christine to lose her cool. Was this the moment their friendship finally hit a breaking point, or was it a reflection of something deeper? A crack in the foundation that had been forming long before the cameras ever rolled. Christine Brown has long been known as the bright, outspoken, and emotionally honest member of the Sister Wives family. Her exit from Cody Brown's plural marriage was celebrated by fans as an act of empowerment and courage. She was the first to stand up, walk away, and say that she would no longer live a life that dimmed her spirit. But as much as Christine has grown since leaving Flagstaff and embracing her new chapter with husband David Woolley, the shadow of her past relationships with the other wives continues to follow her. When Christine told Janelle to shut up, the words hit like a thunderclap because they came from a woman who had once prided herself on peace and sisterhood. The incident begged the question, what really pushed Christine to this breaking point?